A Scar in the Mind of Heroes. Chapter 1. The Scarlet Dawn. The sky was clear as the first rays of sunlight hit the top of the buildings. The birds chirped as a speedy figure ran by it, and from the looks of it, this girl was running as if it was urgent. It was the first day of UA, and Crystal, as quick as she was running down the street with a suitcase tied to her and protected with a bubble wrap and tape. She ran like this due to the thought that she thought in her mind that she was late for class, but she was too early to even enter the UA building. Her shadows were starting to cover her, turning her into a dark wolf as she bolted and yelled. I'm late! I'm late! Oh, I'm so late! Crap, I even missed my coffee! A few minutes later, she finally got there with her suitcase, a tad torn but intact, and was happy to see the teachers lined up at the gate, even her adopted father, Azawa Shota. How he got there before her was a mystery, but he's otherwise known as Eraserhead, the pro-hero of this town. It seems like he probably caught the bus. Her thoughts ran wild with the amount of courses she needed, and probably the amount of friends she would meet. But what got her first was that she noticed her friends in the ranks, one staring up at the teachers intently. Hey! Bakugo! Toto! Kiri! Bakugo turned around quick and noticed her. Hey, Chrissy! Come on! It's about time you made it here. We got here first. Bakugo ran with his suitcase and bear-hugged Crystal. But it seemed that Kiri and Todoroki also got there first. Let's take the blonde idiot up. But he calmed down as he knew them quite well. Man, it's been ages since then. You know, middle school. Yes. And let's not try to forget each other this time, Kiri. Please. I won't split up again. Todoroki was more quiet. He was more paying attention to the front, even though he was more of a numbskull when it came to things. As the four of them laughed and noogied each other, Nezu, the principal, started calling to attention. Now, I know you teens and kids are excited, but we have to assign classes, and where you are to be located. Now, let's begin. Crystal and the others just nodded at each other, paying attention to each other's words and what they were doing over the summer. Crystal and Bakugo kept looking back at each other with a stunned and happy gaze at the others, who seemed to go on vacation with their families. Tough gig, really. But I guess they haven't been this close together since middle school, where they graduated. So, I guess they were also considered best in class. This was also brought up by Todoroki completely. It was his greatest achievement. It even made Endeavor smile at him. So, it was highly possible that they could actually be pro-heroes, due to the fact of what they did in middle school. But Todoroki started to stare at the teachers. They knew their name was next. Nezu automatically looked at the four, who seemed to be near the back. Bakugo Katsuki, Crystal Shoto, Todoroki Shoto, and Kirishima Injiru. Your assignment before this was at a phenomenal level of strength, teamwork, and perseverance. You took down one of this city's greatest villains, the Red Nightmare. Crystal shivered at this memory of catching him, looking into his eye, and that omen he dreaded. The one you trust will be the death of the people you loved. It still ached in her bones, but Nezu had to continue. As a result of this, you will be on your own special group. but will also classify as pro-heroes. Your group will be like your last, the Omni Shockwave. And your dorm house, in honor of this very capture, was named the Omni Tower. And to assign you your classrooms. I hate to physically put this on you, but you will be teaching the new heroes in 1A. So please, introduce yourself to your students. The Omni Squadron hugged like crazy. They were pro. This is what they trained to do. But it was Bakugo who flew his fist into the air, almost causing an explosion. His sweat glands tend to be a little bit of an issue. But it was one of the things we all loved about him. Crystal walked over to the young group and introduced herself. Howdy, guys. I'm Crystal. But if anything has spread, you should know me as Shadow Wolf. I'll be your one teacher here at UA. Since there's 4 of us, I will handle 2 of your classes, Strength and Stealth. Why Stealth? Isn't that for villains? Bakugo interjected. He felt like the conversation was asking something on a rigorous tone, as if something that Crystal said pissed this one person off. Bakugo interjected quickly. Stealth can be used for heroes. Some villains are fast and need stealth for a capture. The Red Nightmare sure did. The guy moved like a cat. Also, name's Bakugo. I'll be teaching you quirk control and use. Over there is Todoroki. He's teaching calming strategies and powering up skills. And that's Kirishima. He's got defense and offensive training. Do we have ourselves clear? The group yelled in a yes, sir, almost as if they didn't want to bother Kiri or the others for the answers, as Bakugo gave it. But Crystal shook her head, as her protector was trailing the class about who's who. But it's confusing to deal with his semi-aggressive address. This really should be fun. The time flied, and the first class started at promptly 8:40, as Crystal played a bit with her shadow bird. The gym was intense with the power of others embedded into its walls. All right, newbies. When I point, come forward and name yourself. Then, you see the test dummy? Use your quirk against it. First, you, Spark Boy. The boy moved forward and yelled his name as he was intimidated by her power. My name is Kaneki Deneki. Kaminari Deneki. I have an electrification quirk. Deneki hit the test dummy with his quirk, and for some reason, I guess of Perk's proximity, charged Crystal's phone in the process. This quickly made her laugh and thought of a really cute name for this kid, as for some reason he struck her nerve. Okay, Pikachu. I like that quirk. Okay, next. This went on for hours with every single student, till one came up with dark green hair, almost black, with a shy but intimidated and a determined walk. My name is Zoku Midoriya, but you all can call me Deku. My quirk, I'd rather not say, but I'll hit the target. Deku's stance was strong, yet it made her uncomfortable. Her inner quirk started to ache in a twisted manner. Crystal wanted to speak, but her inner instincts told her to stay quiet. But her mind kept racing until it finally hit it in the head. He's got off one for all. I could tell He matches him. Great. This could be an issue. But this problem of hers had to slide underneath the rug for now, and she continued her classes and the rest of the day. But as the classes ended, she noticed that Deku was staring at her head to toe, and this made her sweat in a most uncomfortable manner. Why was he staring? And he's the only one doing it. As the day ended, Crystal headed back to her dorm. Bakugo was sitting at the bench outside the building, looking at the upcoming stars that were starting to appear as the sun went down. Crystal started to laugh at Bakugo, because this was a daily habit of his. So, do the stars say this is crap as well? Bakugo laughed hard, but tapped the side next to him as the sun continued to set. Crystal sat down and just smiled. No, soft ears, there's not. But today was just day one. Imagine the rest of this, eh? Please, no. I can't take it. Please, Bakugo. This was worse than catching Valentine in the boys' locker room, smelling Todoroki's underwear. But Bakugo started to crack up, remembering that memory. Valentine's closed eyes and scared face. He couldn't even breathe at this physical point, but he still wanted to go on. And it made him just jerk and smile. Then he held her hand and squeezed it. And held on to it pretty tight. Please don't remind me. Shoto's still getting on my ass for asking you out that day. And then only for that to physically happen. Before he could, quote-unquote, snatch you from me. Crystal smiled and laughed. The thought of being snatched up by Todoroki was one that she didn't exactly want. But she favored. But she did love her Bakugo. They're testy, pissed off, and tends to be overprotective like a Pomeranian on crack. But as she was thinking about this, Bakugo already was nuzzling into her neck. And a soft, more glistening smile passed her. But let alone they didn't know that in the distance lied a threat, staring at them with a clenched fist, and his hand pounding into the wall looking at this, murmuring words that they could not hear, but only those who were close could. You stole her from me. You did. Now, I'm here to get revenge. Trust me, Kachan. I will. And this was chapter 1 of A Scar in the Mind of Heroes. The rest will continue in chapter 2, Trying to Close an Open Wound. So stay tuned for that. Bye!